Yo guys, welcome to RenderRam. My name is Veku, and today I'm going to be covering 5 super obvious 3ds Max features that you either knew your whole life or you discovered them just now after 7,500 years of using damn 3ds Max. So let's dive deeper into the known, unknown depths of 3ds Max. Before I jump into the depths, I have finally, after probably 4 years of laziness, updated my website, and here it is. Boom, you got YouTube, you got Patreon. You can scroll down and look at some of the work that I did. I'm going to be adding more of these over time. But yeah, from here, bam, you're on YouTube. Or from here, bam, you're on my Patreon. So yeah, pick your poison. Anyhow, I'm going to start soft with today's depth features. So let's start. Our first feature is going to be Assign Random Colors button. So get this. If you create a sphere, each sphere comes with a different color. But if you click here on the color, you have the Assign Random Colors. If you turn this one off and then choose any color that you want, I don't know, let's say this gray one, all the objects that you're going to create are only going to be created with this color. So from now on, that's your dedicated color. This way, you're not going to have a complete circus of the scene every time you open it up. You're actually going to have a controlled circus of a scene. Our next feature is going to be copy-paste controllers. So get this. I have 3 objects, right? And now take a look at this. If I add Turbo Smooth, for example, it adds the iteration of 1. If I right click here, you have the copy controller iteration. So if you click on that, and let's say here, I'm going to add an open subdiv. On the open subdiv iteration, I can right click and go to paste controller instance iteration. So now, while I have my Turbo Smooth here and my open subdiv here, if I change the iteration, it's going to change on both. Cool thing with this is, you know how sometimes you're going to have like a couple of Turbo Smooths and they're not going to be instanced because, I don't know, this one needs to have an isoline display, this one needs to have this one needs to have that. Well, you can literally just instance the iterations. So get this. So I have this one here, and here I'm gonna add another Turbo Smooth, which is gonna have isoline display, for example. So now if I just right click here, copy controller iterations, and if I go here and just right click and go paste controller iterations, I'm actually having 2 Turbo Smooths, which are not instanced, but only the iteration part is instanced. So this one can have, separate settings or whatnot, but the iteration part is gonna stay the same. Additionally, if you, for example, add a chamfer modifier, and look at this, you set your chamfer to have, I don't know, this amount, and segments is 1, you can also right click and link that iteration from Turbo Smooth, for example, here. So if you click on paste controller instance, what you're getting is, look at this, segments 2, the whole scene looks like this. Segments 1, not only did you get a lower segment on the chamfer, you also get a lower segment on the Turbo Smooth iteration. So you can link these things and generally be cool while doing it. Our next feature is going to be Material Modifier. The worst thing is, I kinda have a hunch that I already covered Material Modifier in depth, but I can't remember when or where or if I actually did that. I tried searching for it and I couldn't find it. So if I did, it is what it is. Anyhow, Material Modifier. So you have a sphere and for example, you put a Material Modifier in it. So what does Material Modifier do? Get this. If you have a sphere and let's say I create a multi-sub object and I got these 4 materials and I just plug all of them in. And now if I assign that multi-sub to my sphere, look what happens. If you change the ID, it's generally cycling through the ID of the multi-sub object. Where is that useful? Picture that you have a scenario where you have, I don't know, a sofa that comes in many colors or some sort of, product that comes in many colors. You need to render all of those colors. So what can you do? You can pretty much animate this material modifier so that it goes from, material 1 to material 50, and it's going to go through all of this, multi-sub stages, and it's just going to assign all these materials and you can just render it like that. Our next feature is going to be a global displacement on-off button. So I kind of noticed that a lot of people don't use that because it's like it's one of those features that's in Max since forever, and you just kind of don't see it over time, but it actually works. So for example, here in my Corona render, as I'm rendering, you're gonna have a scene that's gonna have, a couple of displacements, here and there, but those displacements can generally slow down the scene over time, so your kind of previewing becomes very slow. And one thing that you can do is, if you go to your render settings, if you go to common, you have displacement here. So if you just uncheck that, boom, your whole system, like all the displacements are turned off. So you don't have to anymore, go and search for that one object or two objects that have displacement, just so you can turn it off. You can just go here directly and just shut it down for the entire scene, and that works. And our last feature is gonna be this actually super old modifier, which does such an awesome, cool effect, but it's a little bit outdated, so don't expect miracles with like high polygon count objects. So like, simple stuff is cool. Flex, it's called flex. So if I select my teapot here, and you can actually see I have two objects, box and a teapot. So I have them animated, so they're pretty much just doing this. This is what flex does. So if I select my teapot and I'm gonna add flex to it, look at this, boom. It just kind of wobbles. Like whatever you're doing, he's just gonna wobble. If I add flex to my box, as you can see, this is what it does. Now, if I kind of utilize what we learned at the beginning of this video, I'm gonna click on my flex, I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna click copy controller flex, and I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go paste controller instance flex. So now we got two flexes. So if I increase my flex intensity to 3, it's going to be increased on both. So now flex looks like this. You have, for example, sway option. This is pretty much how much the flex waves, right? So the lower amount is going to wave like crazy. So look here, but if I just select, for example, the box, if I set my sway to number 2, compare it to the teapot. See what's happening? See how teapot is not wiggling a lot? If I copy this sway and if I paste it to the teapot, so paste controller instance sway, this is what a teapot would do. See, they're kind of going crazy. But if you, for example, increase it to, let's say 16 or something, you're gonna get, you see, like a super like muted kind of effect. So yeah, you have to play with the settings of the flex. Here we see 9. So if I, for example, increase my strength to 7, this is how it looks like. So yeah, give flex a try. It's a cool, like I said, it's cool but outdated modifier, and I really love how like these effects that it does. Like, if you have like some sort of minimum like movement in your animations, you can just use a little bit of flex there, where things are just like kind of kind of wobbling around. And that's generally it for today, guys. I hope you learned something new, and as usual, see you in the next video. Bye.